All right, so we have Dominika with us today. And Dominika, there's probably very few people in the audience that know you. Because you've been kind of sitting there quietly and then boom, explosion, right?
Yeah.
So what I would love to do is just for us to share a little bit about you, what you do, where you live, just so that our audience gets to know you a little bit.
So I'm Dominika and I currently am an interior designer, which is still, I'm smiling when I'm saying that. I live in UK in Surrey, and originally from Poland, but moved to UK 14 years ago. So since then it's been my home. I got married, had kids here, and yeah, never looked back.
So good. So Dominika, tell us a little bit about what was your life like? What were your results like just before you jumped on board with Thinking into Results?
It's a kind of long story, so I'm going to shorten it. So I've always, since I moved to UK, I've always worked in corporate and, very pharmaceutical, very busy kind of environment. And I loved it. I loved it to the point, until I had my girls. And I think after that, my priorities have changed, my kind of reevaluated what's important to me, to our family. And I craved much more flexibility. But then that meant I couldn't work full time and I couldn't fulfill all my corporate commitments, to actually drive my career forward and so on, so on. So I kind of changed to being part-time, but still working in corporate world. I worked, then kind of changed jobs and moved to HR. And it was, like I said, it worked to a point, because then the girls have grown and started school and stuff, and I started kind of feeling stuck and feeling that I still wanted to have certain level of flexibility for their school events, trips and things like that. It's really important to me to be a mom and to kind of to kind of be in charge of our family. And then it meant basically that the only way for me to increase my income and also allow us to fulfill our dreams and kind of travel, or move house and things like that, then I would have to kind of go full time and, or find different ways of earning money, and nothing really resonated. And it was kind of like catch 22, you call it, I think. That, like I said, it's either time or or money, so it's like what's more important and how can I kind of develop that and overcome that. And then I looked at some point, at that point I started a little bit of like self-growth and started looking into myself, into my inner self, what's my values, what's important to me. And then started looking also, it coincided with us moving house and having a really big renovation on our hands, and the kind of, I just remembered, and few people reminded me, do you know what, you've always loved it, the interiors, you've always done it, I've helped family, friends before, and always been complimented on our house. And then then I was like, actually, when I think about, and I did one of the exercises that actually is in TIR, not knowing it was the TIR exercise, so you're kind of looking, if you don't know where your passion is, maybe, or whether you can make it into a business and, and maybe profitable business that you can earn money from, then I did kind of similar exercise and started looking, what am I good at, what I can do, how I can fulfill myself, because I knew that if I'm happy, my family will be happy. And then that's how I qualified with Interior Design Institute, and then kind of set up a business. But as it turned out, it wasn't a business.
It was a hobby, was it?
And I kept saying to myself, I was just on the side, it's just, a hobby and this and that. And I think, and then obviously a pandemic happened, and then I was like, what do I do? I was still in a sort of what I call day job, but like I said, stuck and unfulfilled, and I was doing it and just to bring some income. And but it wasn't really anything, and I knew that I couldn't really progress there. It wasn't either a career, so I would have to, like I said, move jobs and work more hours and so on, which, like I said, for me, I just didn't want that option at all.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, completely out of the blue, my sister mentioned to me, oh, do you know what, there is this masterclass. And I started that masterclass.
So
and then it turned out that a couple of my friends that I met before on my self-growth journey was already in CIR, and they helped me make the decision. But I think the main thing was, it was day 3, and I remember it like today. And I think that day 3 was you had to do a live. Was it day 3? Yeah. And just to put into perspective, I had my social media for my business that I had it for 18 months, and I have not ever gone live or done a story on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it just, something clicked, something triggered, that what you were saying on the masterclass and on that session, something, like I said, triggered me. Something happened. I overcome my fears, because that's obviously what it was. And I went live on my Instagram, which fed back to, to my Facebook, and I went live on our group, on our masterclass group. And I felt like never before, like elevated, and I felt like on top of the world, that, if I can do this, I can do anything. And I think at that point, that was my decision, that, I thought, you know what, if ever can do it on a masterclass without even me being committed to a program or anything like that, and I can kind of feel that way, and then I know that I can grow my business, and I can kind of grow myself, then that is the place for me to be. So, and now, through the months that we've been together, that intuition is my big thing. I think at that point, my intuition, like literally my gut was like, you have to do it. And I know a lot of people have that as well, and then they start, like, they talk themselves out of it, and that's, that's our beliefs, or our kind of limited beliefs, I would say, things that maybe the fear kicks in, or something that, is it really for me, am I going to actually benefit from it, it costs a lot of money. It's all sorts of thoughts that come to, and I literally discounted all of them, because I said to myself, if I can feel that way and my gut is feeling it, then I have to do anything to do it. And I remember I said to my husband at that point, I was like, I have to do it. And then obviously my husband, being super practical and a man, he works in insurance, so imagine this, and stuff like that. And then he was like, how much does it cost? And when I said to him how much it cost, he was like, okay. But I was like, I don't care. I don't know how I'm going to get the money. I don't know how it's going to all work out, but I know it's going to work out. And here I am today.
Love it. Oh my God, this is such a fun. I could listen to you all day now. Now we have 30 minutes. We want to inspire our audience. So I suppose the biggest question, you've been with us for a while. What are your biggest results so far?
So my biggest result is that I have quit my day job. I have quit my day job, and I made a very committed decision to my business, because I think before it was half and half. So that was really big one. And the second big one, that since within literally 2 or 3 months since I, like I said, went completely just on my business, I've just quoted on Friday, I just sent a quote to a client for just over 8K. Yeah, so it's just like, I know I sent you a message straight away, because I was like, this is not real. This is not happening. And obviously I know this is a big one, but whether it happens or not, but like I said, I have a strong belief that it will happen. I have all other inquiries and all other clients, you know, coming, and like I said, they're coming from places or recommendations or social media or things like that, that, you know, the inquiries are just like, I wouldn't even think before to think that this might be a source of my leads or my inquiries, you know. And I have struggled during the program. The people in the program and you ever know.
Yeah.
That was with my belief, and I think I question a lot on how things can happen, and you know, and maybe what am I doing wrong, that things are not doing at the same pace that maybe someone else. But like I said, the TAR is so amazing that it teaches you to kind of reflect on what your paradigms are, what your beliefs are, what you're doing on a daily basis. And not only you learn a lot about yourself, you kind of forced in a way to take actions, but also I lost the trail of mine now, my thoughts, but it's just, you know, it's just gives you also lots of strategies and lots of value in the sense of like this added extras and added bonuses that you, I think, possibly would have to look completely elsewhere. You know, like I feel so much more comfortable with my social media, and I never was, and I've never sort of shared stuff about my life or my business even. So I'm learning, but I've got the like-minded people who are similar way committed to their goals. So they want to achieve, but also everyone's got this massive helpful attitude that mastermind is such a massive thing, you know, that you have people from all different industries, all different kind of business experience as well, but everyone helps each other. So like I said, without my mastermind, a lot of things I would have just kind of dropped off, you know, saying, oh, it's too difficult, or I'm not even, you know, but they kind of keep you accountable as well, and you kind of keep going, but everyone is so supportive. So then you kind of have your answers, rather than spending a lot of time as well looking for answers and looking for how I can, you know, take actions, what to do, what's my next step, you know. And I'm not saying someone is telling you what to do, but there's lots of ideas, you know, and you kind of open your creative mind. And mine is sometimes too creative, so I just get, you know, like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, no, just take one thing. So it just keeps you focused, and like I said, accountability is a massive thing as well, because
I love it.
Every, you know, on my mastermind every week, I want to come with the win, and I want to come and share you know, the positivity with everyone, and help others, you know, we lift each other up, you know, for another week, to have that energy and the same vibration to just kind of like get on with your business, but in a good way.
Yeah, I love it. So I have a couple of questions for you. We've been sharing in this masterclass quite a lot about the difference between learning strategies and thinking into results mentorship. So a lot of business owners, what do? They go hire a strategic coach or a business coach, teaching them, this is how you do Facebook Lives, this is how you do webinars, this is how you make a sales conversation. For someone like yourself who went from corporate world to having a full-blown business, what do you think is the difference between having just strategic tools versus having TIR?
Oh, massive, like massive. I think that the mindset and your attitude, which you're also learning through the TIR, you know, is much more important in my eyes than any strategies. Because if you've got focus and you've got this this drive in you, then you will go and explore strategies. You will go and sort of, you know, find the answers and things like that. Whereas if you don't have the mindset and the right attitude, then the strategies itself, you know, you'll be like, oh, you know, I don't know, this doesn't work, or do I really need to do this, or what if I just drop this off, you know? And it's just, but saying that, like I said, in TIR and in what you ever provide, you know, there's so many strategies to explore. So there's so many people, like I said, with the businesses from lots of different sort of industries, and so they need different strategies, and everyone always picks up what, you know, what works for them.
Yeah.
So and it was the same for me. At first I was like, that's fine, that, you know, the TR, I know that will change me and will change my relationships and will change my attitude and things like that. But then at first I was like, there's not really any other interior designer there, you know? So I was like, how am I going to pick up strategies? But you do.
You do. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter what business you're in,
Yeah.
you pick up from other business owners from different industries. Yeah. I love that. Let's talk a little bit about, there was a period in your business. I want to talk a little bit about mental programming. Because I know this is what was making it or breaking it in my business. And I want to talk to you just a little bit about like how your ability to program your mind for these inquiries changed your results. And what would happen if you didn't have that tool?
It has definitely changed my belief. So at some point, my mind started believing that I am an interior designer. You know, after like, you know, 20 years in corporate world, you know, then you change your career. And it's not like you just doing the same thing. You know, I didn't set up, for example, HR consultancy business that, you know, that was part of my corporate career. I went completely different. Yeah. You know, different industry. So and there were times before that I felt I had that imposter syndrome, you know, am I good enough and things like that. So obviously training my mind, you know, doing all the self-image work, you know, and all the, you know, all the little tools and techniques that you provide us with, that, you know, you basically, your mind transforms. I don't even want to say you believe it, because I don't believe it now. I am that person. You know, you become that person. It changes to that, you know, to that point. And like I said, and I know it's not temporary. I know we do work every day and we have to commit to our mental work, but I've done before, you know, like I said, on my self-growth journey, I did all the epigenetics and neuroscience and how your brain reconnects and builds the connection. That stays there forever. But not everyone then has the tools to actually being able to do that.
Yeah.
And that's why quite often, you know, people just pull back, or, you know, or just don't even dare to dream, you know, because if you don't do your self-image and if you don't believe that you can, and you can become that person, or you are that person, then you're not going to even try, will you?
Sure. Totally. What's the value of a new entrepreneur who, you know, you kind of had your business set up as a hobby? What's the value of someone like yourself to get a mentor, and a mentor who is both mindset and strategy oriented?
Well, like I said, just to give you perspective, I set up my business in October 2019, and I know that meantime there was a pandemic. I completely get it, but pandemic also gave a lot of businesses opportunities. And I think if I knew what I know back then, I wouldn't look at the pandemic that, you know, to stop me growing my business. Yeah. And like I said, it was just a hobby, and it was like, oh, maybe it will work out, but it doesn't work out on its own. You have to help it, you know, make it happen. So I probably, without TIR and without you, if I probably would still be doing a hobby on a side. And like I said, with I can't even compare the income, you know, because like I said, I was like, my clients before was like friends that I literally charged like peanuts, you know, and things like that. You know, it wasn't really an income, you know, so literally it was more like I set it up as a business, but I did it as a hobby. So I didn't consider myself interior designer. I couldn't even kind of like it didn't even
Yeah.
go from my mouth, you know.
You were still corporate thinking, you know, we had the self-image session. You were thinking, feeling, and acting like a corporate employee trying to run a business, and that never flies. Yeah,
no.
That's
and even like, you know, when you set your goal, you know, in TIR, when you start TIR and you set your goal, when, you know, when we set the goal and, you know, and you think about this 10 or 20K a month, you know, I was like, seriously. Seriously, this is a dream. And then here I am, you know, quoting a client 8K for a job. And I'm like, yeah, this is real, you know, this is like, and like I said, I know, and I'm kind of only really thinking about it now, set up my business in June, when I actually went completely dedicated and focused on my business. So, and so that's really my result.
That time, right? I think
Sorry.
That was the time as well when you left the corporate, wasn't it?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So it's really, like I said, when I stopped treating it as a hobby, when I decided actually this is going to be my career and my business. And you know me, I was getting not frustrated, but maybe I looked at other people, you know, in the program, and then they literally had the results after like month 1, month 2. And I was like, I'm 5 months here or 6 months, you know, and this and that. And I was like, actually, I looked at myself. And so you take responsibility for yourself and for your actions, because I will never move on, and I will never, you know, earn that sort of income that I want to earn if I'm treating my business as a hobby, and I'm, you know, and I'm calling it as a hobby. And it's a hobby. This is not then a business. Sorry, I'm just getting like.
I am glad you treat it as a business now. And you're such a different woman. Like, it's so good. What's the importance for an entrepreneur to have community of entrepreneurs that you can rely on, you can get support from?
Everything. Because first of all, it's a very like-minded people, so they will always look at solutions and opportunities. You know, there's things like a problem or an issue doesn't exist, you know, and they will not only support you in finding strategies, but most importantly, they will support you, and everyone around you will support you in doing your mindset. Once your mindset is right, you know, so you have to pick your mindset first, and feel that person that, you know, that you want to be, then everything else, you know, it kind of falls into place. And everything, and I think before people understand that process, or learning to understand that process, then like I said, the how becomes a kind of a forgotten thing, because it just happens, you know. So it's like expect unexpected. Set your intention, set your desires, set your goal, and then there's not like, I think if I said to one, you know, say my friends, I was like, oh, I'm just within the next 6 months I'm going to be earning 10K a month, they'll be like
yeah, that's true.
Okay. Yeah, so, you know, so it's like the things become real. And I think when you share your goal or your dreams, and, you know, and your a business, even the struggles, not struggle, but, you know, like a little kind of setbacks, then you've got that community around you. And like I said, I mentioned before, you hold accountable as well. You can reach out to anyone at any point. You know, I had several conversations with, you know, with people completely kind of, I don't even know, and I wouldn't know. The community is so big and so supportive that, you know, sometimes even on our Q&A calls, you know, then you resonate with someone else's question or someone else's kind of like way of thinking, and, you know, and you reach out privately. You know, I wouldn't know those people, and I wouldn't even dream of like talking to them, you know, or getting advice from anyone if it wasn't for TIR.
Yeah, love it. It's a beautiful networking space. I love it.
Yeah.
And so finally, I want to talk to you about the importance of decision. So when you were making your decision, was there something going through your mind that wanted to talk you out of it? And how did you get over that?
Well, lots of things, like I said. I mean, um, if I'm honest, when I joined the masterclass, I didn't actually think I will join the program, you
Yeah.
know, and I was like, I'm just gonna give it a go, try it. And like I said, and something just clicked, and it was this strong kind of gut feeling and intuition. And obviously, my mind was trying to talk me out of it, you know. Is it for me? You know, what is it going to be like? You know, it costs a fortune, you know, and what actually the benefits going to be, and so on, so on. And like I said, I spoke to my success advisor on a couple of occasions, and I was really like probably annoying because I asked really detailed like question about what's your results, you know, are you happy, you know, that sort of thing. And I was like, okay, but you know, if I'm investing that sort of money, you know, in myself, I want to know kind of its worth. But at the same time, I kind of deep down knew. So it's like I knew that what I think at that point I knew that whatever I hear, you know when you just something resonates with you, and if it resonates with you, and if it gives you that little kind of fuzz, you know, then you have to go for it, and the rest will fall into place. So if you worry about money, if you worry about how much time maybe you need for it, is it the right time for you? If it resonates with you, go for it.
I
I
love
think
it.
yeah, I think that's the most important thing, because you know you don't want to waste maybe another few months thinking about it. You know, I wouldn't be where I am, and lots of people, you know, lots of us wouldn't be, you know, if we were sitting and thinking about it, you know, another few
Love it.
months. Just go for it.
And to me, this is like learning to drive. You know, you want to learn to drive, what do? You hire a driving instructor.
Yeah.
You don't try and waste time on your own. And you want to be successful in business, you want to earn 10, 20, 50,000 per month, you hire someone. You hire someone for a period of time to build these habits with you rather than going and researching on your own. Because going and researching on your own, I mean, yesterday we had a info session with our participants, and I said, listen, just take an honest look. What is your current income per month? How long has it
Yeah.
been like this? What is the method of earning? And if you don't do this, where are you going to be in next 6 to 12 months? Like without clear direction, we just keep repeating Groundhog Day all the time. So I'm not even going to go into, you know, convincing you guys. We both know here with Dominika how much it's worth. I'm just going to call on you to listen to, do you feel we can help you? That's all there is. If you feel like you have that goal, you know, you have been wanting that 10, 20, 50,000 per month, maybe for more than 1 week, or even since Monday, you know, maybe you've been wanting this for a year, for 2 years, and it's not happening. Just ask yourself, what are you willing to do to make it happen? And if you don't make a change right now, if you don't get support, where are you going to be in the next 6 to 12 months? Because I mean, for me, it's such an easy choice. If I have an expert who's helping people multiply their income and build their businesses for breakfast, I cannot fail. But if I do rely on myself or my family or friends who are not teaching this, and I don't have that community helping me, then like what chances do I have? I really don't. And I know I'm kind of like you, Dominika. I came from corporate environment, and I know if I didn't have this mentor, mastermind, accountability community, I would not grow successful business. So we urge you to really ask yourself, do you feel we can help you? And give yourself a chance. The money, you will recoup this money very quickly, but make a decision coming from your goal. Where do you want to be in next 6 to 12 months? Not where you are right now. Even if you're in corporate like we were, and you're earning that 2,000, 3,000 per month, and nobody is earning 10,000 around you, but you want it. and you have that gut feeling inside of you telling you she can help me. I mean, if she can make 170,000 per month, she can certainly help me. Then just give yourself a chance and click that button and register. So Dominika, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Eva. Thank you.
It's such a pleasure, and I'm just so thrilled watching you grow, and we're just going to keep celebrating and keep continuing this. Thank you so much, and thank you everybody for watching this. Let's make the right decision for you and your goals, not Groundhog Day. Fingers crossed for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.